So how you doing? Yeah, no. Well, it's great to see you again. Where'd you say you went off to? Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. I saw the pictures on Facebook. Yeah, well, it's good to catch you in town. Yeah, no, definitely. You're gonna come along to the last game, and then you got the letter saying that you're gonna get the abroad trip, and off you went. Oh yeah, don't worry about that. No, it's totally understandable. Well, we can fit you in this time because actually conveniently we're just starting up a new group, so yeah, we can definitely squeeze you in. Yeah. Oh wait, got something there. Okay, yeah, no, there you go. Well, so yeah, so first things first, have you played D&D before? Most of the other group is pretty, experienced already. But, I mean, yeah, no, it's no problem. It's, having a new person in the group is, honestly, it's not a problem at all. I love teaching it to new people, so, and, yeah. So have you played any, like, RPGs before? Yeah, no, it's just, it's good to know, like, kind of like a baseline of where you're at, just so you're not, it's not like some people who, like, need to be explained what, like, hit points are and basic, like, RPG stuff, like, what's an elf? Okay, people know that, but yeah. I'll stop rambling. So, yeah. So, we're gonna just, like, while you're here hanging out, we could, make your character. That's alright with you? Yeah. Alright, so, you're actually the first person to, make it in our group so far, your character. So, yeah, you pretty much have free reign for kind of, like, whatever you want to build. Especially since you're a new player, I like to prefer to have, like, the new players have, like, the most flexibility in what they build. Honestly helps them stay longer and get into the game, because, like, I don't know, sometimes, like, you really need the group to be a healer, and then you have, like, that one new player who doesn't really want to play a healer, and you're like, I really need you to play a healer, and they don't like it, and they don't decide the game's up for them, and yeah. So, it's kind of open to whatever you want to be. Oh, so you actually would like to kind of play like a healer? Honestly, thank you, because sometimes it's hard to get people who want to play a healer, so yeah, no, you can definitely make a sort of healer. Yeah. Do you have a propensity from healers and from anything else? Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't actually play Overwatch. I'm not a big shooter person. I just read fan fiction about it. That's pretty much it. A lot of fan fiction. Yeah, okay. That's not about it. So, let's just jump right in. Okay, so, yeah. This is the character sheet. There's gonna be I have two copies here. One's for me and one's for you, because I like to have a copy just to, like, look at your character and things like that. But, okay, this one's for you. So, yeah, I'll just put it on the table next to you there. Yeah, so, alrighty. Yeah, so I got this copy. If you need a pencil, got a spare one right here. Yeah, put it over there for you. And I got plenty of lead if you do need extra. I do want that pencil back though. It's my favorite one. So yeah, like, you know, before we jump into the character, let's just kind of like talk about what you're gonna need before the first session. First and foremost, whenever you come to a session, please, if you could bring your character sheet. It's just super nice to have and super easy to, it's it's just a good thing to have on you, because otherwise you don't know your stats. So please remember this. I know people who get like either like a folder or put in like a binder, or what I do is like I just have like a big sketchbook like this that I keep a lot of magic life totals in, and I just kind of like store it in here, but that's not the best way to do it. So yeah, but I think so. Get either like a binder or a folder or something like that, and either get like some just paper to put along with that for like taking notes and stuff, or just get like a notebook like this. This is kind of like what I use for like all my campaigns and art and magic and everything. This is kind of like my just dump everything sketchbook. So yeah, no, yeah, don't worry about it. It's just a cat. Yeah. So yeah, bring those. Next thing is you don't need to get it right away, especially since you're a new player. But if you get like a few sessions in and you're like, I want to do this, I definitely would prefer you picking up a copy of the Player's Handbook. It's just super nice for, I don't know, having on hand, because it's just nice to be able to like reference like spells and stuff, because you're going to be healers, so you're going to have spells, and like abilities and like rules and stuff, just without like, I don't know, both in session and out of session. So you can usually like, I think they go on sale, like you can find them on sale every so often, and they're honestly not that bad. Like a lot of places you can find it for about like $30 or so. So and it's one of those things that if you fall in love in this game, you will use for a long time, at least until 6th edition comes out. That's a good thing to note. Make sure to get the 5th edition, because that's the edition we're playing. Yeah, I think I have 4th edition like on my bookshelf over there. I can show you it to show you one not to get, and I'm pretty sure I have 3rd edition around there somewhere too. I've been playing this game for quite some time. Yeah, so that, and my dice, where are my dice? Oh, there you are. I just want to get some dice. I have miniatures in here. Don't worry about getting these unless you want to pick up some from like a game store and like paint them and have fun. I have a ton of these because reasons. Definitely being responsible with my life choices. But yeah, but the main thing is dice. Pretty much you're going to want to pick up a standard set of dice, which is usually 4 d6s, which are standard dice, like a couple d4s, and yeah, no, just go into any game store and you'll like ask for like, find like a standard set of dice and they'll point you to what you need. Pick up maybe 1 or 2, but if you need more, I have so much dice, like this is probably about 1/3 of the amount I have. This is just what I take with me. Yeah, no, it's just, it's nice to have your own dice because, I don't know, a lot of people get like, I don't mind sharing my dice, but some people get like, don't like other people touching your dice. It's just like a D&D taboo. You don't touch other people's dice. But I have plenty if you ever forget or you want to wait a little bit, but a set of dice won't cost you more than $10. And it's also something you grow really attached to over time. Alrighty, so yeah, so while we're on the topic of dice, one important thing to talk about is dice nomenclature, and in a lot of like the rules and stuff, you'll see something like, say, roll 4d6 dice, which means the first number is how many dice you roll, so in this case 4. The D is in the middle, and then 6 tells you how many sides of dice should be. So 46 means roll 4 6-sided dice. Or you might have like 2d8 or 5d12 or things like that, and that lets you know. And sometimes they'll then have like 46 plus 2, and then you just like add 2 to the result of that. So yeah, no, it's really easy. And then a few like just golden rules of magic. Not magic. Jeez, I've been playing too much Magic. Yeah, no. I sold my soul to Wizards of the Coast a long time ago. Back when I was 6 and picked up the Player's Handbook for the first time. But the few like golden rules is always round down. So if you have to get like 5.5, round down. And then specific beats general, where there's a lot of general rules, but an ability or feature or entry you might say, except for this, and in that case, go for the exception beats the general rule, if that makes sense. Yeah. And then one final general rule is that the Dungeon Master has the final say. So, both, if you have a question, ask me. I mean, the other players will also be able to answer. They're really good at the game, but kind of like everything comes down to me because I'm DMing and running the game. Yeah. Alright, so let us start looking at that. So let's actually start playing your character. So, in the Player's Handbook, if you pick it up, there will be a, like, whole section on, like, walking through building your character, but, we won't do that yet. So, let's talk about what character you want to make. So, let's first talk about your race. You're going to play some sort of healer. So, let's actually talk about class first. So, the three main healing classes, like, some classes, like, can do it more secondarily, like Paladin. But the three main ones are Cleric, which are kind of like priests, Druid, which are kind of like, they're druids, they live in like with nature and stuff like that, and to a lesser extent, they're not as good as the other two, but bards, who are kind of like more general support, and not just healing. Like, clerics are very much like very spec'd into healing. I mean, they do other things too, but they're like the best at healing. Druids are kind of like in the middle, where like they're pretty good at healing, but they also have like a bunch of like nature abilities and like cool stuff with that. And then finally, yeah, another one. Sorry. It's just bugging me. Bards are good at who are like musicians and whatnot, are not as good at healing, but they also have like a lot of other support abilities and also like illusions and stuff. Yeah, you guys, you want to do a bard? Yeah, no, bards are a lot of fun to play because you get to do music and like fun stuff like that. So, so in the game there are 6 primary stats, which are like along that side of the character sheet. So there's strength, which is how strong you are; dexterity, which is like how fast and nimble you are; constitution, which is how tough and how much you can take. Intelligence is kind of like your book smarts. Wisdom, which is like your perception and like self-awareness. And then charisma, which is how sexy you are. As a bard, you care about how sexy you are the most. And then to a lesser extent, kind of like both dexterity and constitution for kind of like keeping yourself alive so you can heal other people, as well as like accuracy of some other stuff. Yeah. So certain races get bonuses based on the different ability scores, but you can't, it's still flexible enough that you don't have to, honestly, when my philosophy when making characters is that choose the more story flavorful option over like necessarily like the strictly best option. Like, do what's fun and what will tell an interesting story. So let's go through the races. So first up, we got dwarves, who are they're small people, live in the mountains, like gold, usual stuff. They're fun. I like dwarves. Elves. There's several variants of elves. But you know an elf is, but like there's high elves and like wood elves and like the dark elves, the drow and all that. I like elves, and it's not just because I have a naturally pointed ear. Yeah, no, I like it. It's a cool aesthetic. Fortunately, the other one doesn't match. It's actually something that's like, when I do, I'm actually working on a cosplay right now, and I'm like trying to like figure out, like, I'm doing this cosplay, I'm like trying to like look up guides. I'm like, how do I unpoint an ear? Because like for cosplay, there's like us saying like, here's how to get like ears, like pointed ears and stuff. I'm like, but I don't want that. I want less pointed. Yep. Next up we have halflings, which are hobbits, except not. Hobbits are kind of like, have that like very Tolkien flavor, so they're a little bit different from like Tolkien hobbits who are just mostly farmers. D&D halflings are kind of like, what if every hobbit was like Bilbo? Yeah. Next up we have humans. They're a very exotic race, but they're cool. They have a lot of neat things going on. There's Dragonborn. They look like they're dragons, and they're dragon people. Like, they have, like, their race was imbued with dragon blood and stuff like that. These are, like, beings, like, the more, like, uncommon, less exciting races. You like the idea of a Dragonborn? Yeah. I mean, let me see what stats we get. We get strength and charisma, so, I mean, that actually might not be bad for whatchamacallit, a bard. There's gnomes who are just kind of like, they're like, it's kind of like elves are to humans what gnomes are to halflings. They're like short little magical people. Half elves who are just essentially like the half a human, half an elf. And then finally, oh, not half finally, but there's half orcs, which is like the same thing, but with orcs. And then tieflings who are like infernal, like people tainted with like infernal bloodlines and stuff. Like their ancestors made pacts with demons and whatnot. Yeah. Alright. So you want to go with Dragonborn? Cool. Alright, so up top here, we can like start filling in some stuff. So first and foremost, we have class and level. So you're going to be a first level bard. So you can just say like Bard 1. Background, we'll get to that. Player name. Yeah, just it's your name. I hope you know that. Race will be Dragonborn. No, not the Skyrim Dragonborn. I mean, although you are a bard, so like you might be shouting at people. Alignment. Or if you're familiar with like the D&D like alignment chart name, like there's like the grid of 9 people, where it's like there's like good, evil, good, neutral, evil, and then lawful, neutral, chaotic, like on the 2 axes. Yeah. We'll come back to that when we talk about more like your story and background and stuff. Bards don't have any restrictions on their alignments. Actually, I don't think anyone has strict restrictions on their alignments in this edition. Alright, so let's roll your ability scores. So, let's roll your ability scores. This year you're gonna grab 46. Sure, yeah, no. I want to use my luck to roll these. Alright, so what it is, we'll roll 46, so 4 6-sided dice, and we're going to take out the lowest result each time. So it'll give us a result between 3 and 18, but it like shifts it more towards the upper end to just like give yourself a more heroic feel. We'll do this 6 times, and then that's going to kind of determine like your scores, and then you get to assign them how you want. Alright, so let's... Alright, that is a 5, 5, 2, that's a 12. Oops. Immediately break my lead. I'm terrible at that. You think an artist would be more careful. That's a 6, 5, and 3. That's a 14. That is a 11. Okay, come on. Let's get some higher rolls here. That's a 13. Okay, average. The average human has about like 10 to 11 in all their stats. So that's kind of like the average. That's a 7. Okay, so you're not going to be good at something. And that is a 17. Very nice. Okay, so you get, as a Dragonborn, you get +2 to Strength and +1 to Charisma. So probably want your high score in Charisma just because that's what's important. You'll be a very, very sexy Dragonborn. So you can put that in this like box right there. So we could put 18 with the score, and every score has like a modifier applied to it. So the score for an 18 is a +4 modifier. So anything that calls for Charisma gives you +4. Okay, Wisdom, okay. So your next high score, a lot of bards end up being like dex based to be flexible, but because of your +2 strength bonus, you could go more like a strength based bard. You will just I don't know, you're really like more like kind of like frontline melee bard if you wanted to. Yeah, you can do that. So put your 14 there, so that gives you 16 strength. So what do you want your bad stat to be? This is the next thing to look at. Also the 16 gives you a +3. So you're 7. Wisdom? Alright, okay, so you won't have a great like perception and whatnot. Honestly, low wisdom bard can be fun, kinda like you break out singing at like all the most inappropriate times, and that's great. Alright, so, and then you have 12, 13, and 11. So, just descending from there, so 13 dex, that gives you a +1. 12 constitution, that's also a +1. And 11 intelligence, that is a +0. So, I mean, you're averagely smart. You knew enough to memorize enough stuff, but... Alright, so let's look at your thing. So, on Dragonborn stats, age alignment, we can like talk about that later. You're bigger than humans. Okay, your speed is 30. So, top here is your speed, and we can put that in as 30 feet, which when we get like the grid out, that's usually about 6 squares. So when you use like Underrun, you can move about that far further if you like run or devote all of your time to doing that. Okay, so first you get Draconic ancestry. So you get to choose kind of like what color of dragon your line is descended from, and this kind of chooses what like element you're attuned with, and the how your breath weapon is. Some like fire it in like a line, others like will do more of like a spread of stuff. Yeah, so there's you have your option is black, blue, brass, bronze, copper, gold, green, red, silver, and white. Alright, you want something with fire. So that's going to be either brass, gold, or red. Just want to go straight for the gold. Sounds good. So that's going to be like the more like AoE fire. That's cool. Right, so you said you're going to be in like a nice like golden thing. So in features and traits right here, you can write down Draconic ancestry gold. I can't spell. Draconic ancestry gold. Cool. You get a breath weapon. So essentially, kind of like you can use this kind of like every time, like pretty much every fight, you can like breathe fire on people because you're a dragon. And then, but you gotta rest before you can do it again. Okay, that's cool. You have damage resistance. Okay, so you'll have resistance against fire, so you'll take less damage from fire attacks. Very cool. resistance, fire. Awesome. You know how to speak and read Common and Draconic. So there's a box for proficiencies in languages, and you can put in right there for Common. Common is just kind of like the language. It's like kind of a shorthand to like make sure you like most people can communicate with each other. And Draconic, just language of the dragons. Alright, so let's make it from being a dragonborn. Okay. So bards. So bards are all about kind of like music and performance and all that. Okay, so one thing we should talk about quick is you have something called, up here you have your proficiency bonus. So until you hit level 5, that proficiency bonus is +2. So you have a lot of things that say you're proficient in it, and when that happens, you add your proficiency bonus to those rolls. So, like, let's look at the first one. So, your saving throws. You're proficient in dexterity and charisma saving throws. So, some things happen, like when you're like, if you were like, you have to dodge a trap, you will be, that is a dexterity saving throw. So you'd roll a dexterity check, and to like get out of the way of the trap. So normally that'd just be +1, but because you're proficient in dexterity saving throws, you get a +3. So there's little like dots. Saving throws is right below proficiency bonuses. And there's little dots to mark which ones you're proficient in. So dexterity and charisma. You can actually fill those in now. So you get +3 for strength, +3 for dexterity, +1 for constitution, +0 for intelligence, -2 for wisdom, and +6 for charisma. You're not gonna fall for those effects. Yeah. So you're also proficient with light armor, so it makes sense. Like you're good with like leathers and stuff like that. So you're not like a big like tanky person. Simple weapons: hand crossbows, long swords, rapiers, and short swords. Yeah, I like the idea of having a nice big long sword. Sounds good. And crossbow, long sword, rapier, and short sword. Cool. And you get to be proficient with 3 musical instruments of your choice. Yeah, we can come back to that. Alrighty. You think about it. Okay, so next below your saving throws, you have skills. Bards are very flexible what they can do, so you can choose any 3 of these to be proficient in. And that just means you add your proficiency bonus to them. And each of them is tied to a different skill. Okay, so just look at that list. So there's acrobatics, which is like being all flippy and stuff. Animal handling, arcana, athletics, deception, history, insight, intimidation, investigation, medicine, nature, perception, performance, persuasion, religion, sleight of hand, stealth, and survival. Yeah, performance makes sense for a bard. What else? Persuasion. Cool. And what else? Yeah, athletics. Sounds good. Kind of just like a nice, like, tough. I mean, you have high strength and you're not going to be, like, doing all these, like, high things. You're very outgoing. Like, it's like, bards are all kind of like theater nerds and whatnot, but like you were the one doing all the fancy stunts and whatnot. You did a lot of like technical theater, hauling around like the big lights and stuff, because those things are heavy if you've ever carried them around. Yeah. Oh, so next over here, we're gonna look at your like hit points and whatnot. So hit dice for you is you have 1 hit die total, and so which some effects refer to hit dice, but your hit dice is D8. So every time you level up, you'll roll an 8-sided dice and add that many to your hit points, plus your Constitution modifier. So your current hit points right now is 8 plus your Constitution modifier, because you get maximum hit points first level. So you have 9 hit points, which doesn't seem like much, but you're a squishy backline. Well, not backline, but like you'll be moving in and out of kind of like the front line. I guess your strength lends you more to that, but yeah, you'll figure it out. Okay. Next up is okay. We'll come back to equipment in a moment, but we get more features. First is spellcasting, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Spellcasting. And then you get Bardic inspiration. Essentially, because of your charisma, you can do this 4 times a day. You can be like, I wish to inspire my friends. And right now it's a D6, but essentially at some point to any D20 roll they make, I never explained that, but most checks in this game are done by a D20 roll, so 20-sided die. They look just like this. And usually you roll a D20, you add a modifier and see if it beats a number, and that's how most checks are. So other dice are often used for like damage and things like that. But essentially you can be like, hey, I want to help you. I am so inspiring. Aha. And essentially give that, and then before when they roll something, they can be like, okay, I want to use that my inspiration I got from you, my legendary dragon maestro, and roll a extra d6 that they can add to their roll, so you can like help them with their like attacks and skills and stuff like that. Yeah, no, that's neat. And finally, yeah, that's all the features you get. I'm gonna mark down something on the second page, which is your spells, because we'll come back to like choosing what spells you know. But at first level, you'll know, you'll get to know 2 cantrips and 4 first level spells. Cantrips are also known as 0 level spells. Essentially means you can cast them as many times a day as you want, so it's something you can always rely on. But you will have 2 spell slots for first level spells, so you will know 4 first level spells, but you can only cast like them twice per day. Since you're a bard, you don't actually have to prepare your spells like wizards, so you're good on that. At least I don't think so. I don't believe you do. No. One of the editions they have to. Later on, if you get that, you might want to check out some of the stuff you get later on, because you choose like a bard's college to join, and that adds like different features and whatnot. Alright, let's move on. Actually, let's scroll back a little bit, because we want to look at your stuff. Stuff is very important. So, okay, so equipment. Okay, so you get to choose between, for your equipment here, you can also choose to buy gold and stuff, but usually this is what you want. So you can use a rapier, a longsword, or any simple weapon. Longsword? Yeah. It's probably the best strength-based weapon they have. Okay, so then you can use a diplomat's pack or an entertainer's pack. So, okay, diplomat's pack. Alright. I believe that has like things for like writing messages and doing bats like that. As like the entertainer's packs is like has some more stuff like to disguise you and like do different like costumes and stuff like that. Okay, so it sounds like you're almost doing less of a like fun, like you're you might want to like, because like one version of Bard is kind of like doing like lots of oratory and like inspiring speeches. Like there's this wise, venerable dragonborn making this speech about heroism and bravery before the battle and gets everyone all pumped up that way. That'd be cool. Alright. So you could choose a musical instrument you want to have on you. A lyre. Ooh. Okay, that's fancy. Very elegant. And then leather armor and a dagger. Kind of as like a backup. Leather armor. We'll look up the stats for that in a moment. And a dagger. Sometimes you just gotta stab something. Alrighty. Okay. Let us keep. That's wizards. You are not a wizard. Okay, so look at this background. Backgrounds are kind of like, they were called like traits in like 3.5 and Pathfinder, and it's kind of like something that isn't your racing class. It's kind of like how you grew up and kind of like your circumstances and like how you learned your skills and whatnot. So, and it gives you certain actual mechanical bonuses. So, yeah. You don't actually have to stick to these. You can kind of like craft your own if you want to, but it's probably a good idea if you want to. So, and these also can help you to start thinking about your story and background. Obviously, with your background, kind of like your personality and stuff, and how that informs what you're doing. So we got Acolyte, which is all about like growing up in like a temple or something. Yeah, that doesn't really feel like you. Charlatan, criminal, entertainer. That seems like the easy way to go for that. A folk hero, guild artisan, hermit, noble, outlander, sailor, soldier, urchin. I like soldier. Yeah, no, that could be cool if kind of like the kind of like the inspiring speech person, like kind of like you were in the military and like you're all about kind of like the like getting everyone together to like go maybe die. Okay, so up top there's a place for your background. Yeah, that's really cool. Explains your like high strength and stuff. So you gain proficiency in athletics and intimidation. Well, since you already have athletics, you get to change that for, you get to use, pretty much choose anything. So you get intimidation. You're very scary and powerful. What do you want? History. Interesting. Okay. Okay, so you were kind of like, yeah, that's neat. Kind of like you were like you were trained to kind of like be like a tactics or like a tactics officer, kind of like the brains of an operation. Okay, you're not that much brains, but the fancy. You were kind of like trained to be kind of like a more tactical, inspiring person in a unit. Cool. So you get proficiencies in one type of gaming set. So probably like cards or something that you can probably like doing in the off times, like when you're off work and stuff. Oh, what, chess? Okay, so you're good at chess. Very, very classical. And land vehicles. So that's things like carriages and chariots, I guess. Cool. And you get some extra equipment. So you get an insignia of rank. We'll talk about like your backstory, like where you're from and kind of like that. A trophy taken from a fallen enemy, a set of bone dice or a deck of cards, a set of common clothes, and a pouch containing 10 gold. Very cool. Alright, so you can, yeah, so you have a feature of a military rank, so when you like meet people with like within the same militaries, you can like pull rank on them to maybe get them to do something, or at least have like experience with that. Yeah. So you want to talk about your alignment now, since you know that? What do you want to be? Right. So good evil. So like good people care about other people. They care about life and stuff, and evils like are very sadistic and like wanting to like harm other people for their own advantage and whatnot. And neutral people are in the middle, where like they don't go out of their way to hurt people, but they don't want to be good. Yeah. And then lawful versus chaos, like lawful people believe in like society being like true to like being good for securing people's freedoms and things like that. Whereas chaotic people believe, well, chaotic good people believe like society like is a threat to the common good and people's freedoms. Lawful good, I mean that makes sense. You were in the military. Well, I guess like if you left for poor reasons, you might not be favorable on it. Well, that sounds... Yeah. Well, that's neat. Okay, so it's like how like you were in the military, you all... Yeah, no, I'll write the story. So like there's this big recruitment drive, you got drafted and you got into the military and you actually like enjoyed it. It was good and you were all ready for this big war that was going to happen. And before the first battle, the diplomats succeed and the war is called off, and like you're like, well, what do I do now? That's cool. Yeah, oh, that's really neat. Yeah, no, after working on the story. Yeah, no. I actually haven't done much world building yet, because, you know, for this one I'm going to wait till I see what the characters are, and kind of like deal with that first. Yeah, okay. Okay. So... Alright, next up, let's go to equipment. So first up we have your armor. So you have leather armor, which will determine your AC. So it'll give you 11 plus your dex modifier. So your AC is 12, which isn't great, but it's not the end of the world either. You'll get better later. Okay, so next up you had a longsword. So there's a little like attack place right there. So we have longsword. So your attack bonus will be your strength plus your proficiency, because you're proficient with them, so plus 5. Then your damage of a longsword is... So you want to wield the longsword one-handed or two-handed? Because you can with a long... That has an ability called Versatile, which increases the damage if you wield it two-handed. Okay, so you get 1d10 plus your strength modifier plus 3. So you have lots of damage when you do that. But just know that you can wield it with one hand, but your damage drops to a 1d8 when you do. Yeah. Okay, so let me see. Oh, this is what was in your pack, of your diplomat's pack. So a chest, 2 cases for maps and scrolls, a set of fine clothes, a bottle of ink, an ink pen, a lamp, 2 flasks of oil, 5 sheets of paper, a vial of perfume, sealing wax, and soap. Okay. That makes sense if you kind of like, I don't know, you were kind of like the requisite like communications like within the military and lots of stuff like that. Yeah. Oh, very cool. There's lots of like information for like random things like that. Okay. Feats and stuff like that. We don't have to worry about those yet. Ability scores, yeah. Teaching you how to play the game. Don't worry, I'll get into all the details later. Okay, spellcasting. So, we're actually pretty much almost done with the front side of this. So next we want to go on to your other sheet, which is this one. So your spellcasting ability is your charisma. You, for your like inspiring speeches and songs and things. So your spell save DC is 8 plus your proficiency bonus, so 10 plus your thing, so your spellcasting ability. modifier, which is +4, so you get your spell save DC is 14. So remember how I talked about saving throws? So essentially means whenever you a spell calls for a saving throw, that is the 14 is the score they have to beat, or at least match. And your spell attack bonus is your proficiency plus that, so it's a +6. And some spells you actually like just attack them, others that you have to do that otherwise. Yeah. Alright. So, first and foremost, okay, so we have bard spells. Alright, so cantrips. You get to know 2 cantrips you can cast as much as you want. So first up is there's Blade Ward, Dancing Lights, Friends, Light, Mage Hand, Mending, Message, Minor Illusion, Prestidigitation, it's a mouthful, True Strike, and Vicious Mockery. What does Friends do? Because it sounds kind of like something that you would have. Kind of this very much like diplomatic. Yes. There's like these lists in the front and there's all these back. Okay. Oh, so essentially gives you advantage on all of your charisma checks with trying to like do something, so it makes you better at like improving your ability to like befriend people and stuff like that. When you have advantage on a roll, that means you roll your d20 twice and you can take the higher result. There's also disadvantage where you take the opposite. Yeah. So you want friends? Alright. And what else? Light. Yeah, that makes sense. Just to like because you don't have like low light vision or dark vision, you can just kind of like see in the dark a bit better. Right, next up you get to learn 4 first level spells. So there's Animal Friendship, which is kind of like Friends but works better with animals. Bane, which kind of like is it debuffs someone. Charm Person, which kind of like is more of like a forceful way of, instead of like Friends kind of like just makes you better at persuasion. Charm Person kind of like magically compels them to be friendly to you, as long as you're not like hurting them. Comprehend Languages, it lets you kind of like just understand languages and whatnot. Cure Wounds, it lets you cure wounds, it's your basic heal. Yeah, you want that? Cool. Yeah, if you want to play kind of like a healer character, that sounds like a good thing to have. Okay, Detect Magic just lets you detect magic. Disguise Self, which is, yeah, Dissonant Whispers, Fairy Fire, Featherfall, Healing Word, Heroism, Identity, Illusory Script, Long Strider, Silent Image, Sleep, Speak with Animals, Tasha's Hideous Laughter, Thunderwave, and Unseen Servant. You want to know the difference between Cure Wounds and Healing Word? Alright, well, okay, so Cure Wounds, words, things, so many spells. So essentially, kind of like you, just like, that just deals 1d8 plus your charisma. Whereas, is it Word of Healing? No, Healing Word. You never know with these. GH. Here it is. Okay, so Healing Word is Cure Wounds requires you to touch the person. Healing Word is ranged, but it heals for less. You want to be flexible and have both? You know what, that makes sense. Alright, okay, do you want like something like a bit different? Yeah, so Animal Friendship, Bane, Charm Person, Comprehend Languages, Cure Wounds, Detect Magic, Disguise Self, Dissonant Whispers, Fairy Fire, Featherfall. Featherfall is kind of like when you're like just falling and you take damage, you can cast that immediately on yourself to like slow your fall. Healing Bird, Heroism, Identify, Illusory Script, Longstrider, Silent Image. Longstrider lets you like move faster over land. You're like, yeah, I mean that makes sense for like a group trying to like move faster over land. Silent Image, Sleep, Speak with Animals, Tasha's Hideous Laughter, Thunderwave, and Unseen Servant. And, Comprehend Languages. Okay. It makes sense that you would know that if you're like kind of like dealing with like communications and things like that. And yeah, if you're trained there. Alright, so you know Cure Wounds, Healing Word, Longstrider, and Comprehend Languages. It makes sense for like someone who's like a support in the military. Alright. So there's a few other like things like talking about like story and stuff left on the sheet. But that's pretty much your character. Obviously you need to think about your backstory a little bit more. You need to think of the name. It's very important. But yeah, no. It looks really cool. Like I like the idea of like kind of like this backstory of like a war that everyone is ready for and you're all pumped up to go to, and then it didn't happen. It's kind of like those things where it's like when like people go to war, like a lot of times in wars, like people like are very much like not yet disillusioned to it. So it was kind of like no one was disillusioned to this war. Like a lot of these like fresh recruits and stuff, like were all pumped up for like the glory of the kingdom or whatever, and then it never happened. So they like that disillusionment never actually happened. So you have all these like foolhardy and gunshot like rookie soldiers now. Yeah, that's really cool. You know, I actually might work this in with everyone else, because like this done, because I haven't told them a premise of anything to do. I might be like, hey, all of you were kind of like in like the same unit, and now you're like, well, what do we do now? Yeah, no, that could be really cool. Yeah, no, thanks for hanging out. Yeah, I know we'll get better together. Check the Discord chat. We're trying to, I think I posted a link on there to like figure out like good scheduling stuff. Yeah. So it was good to see ya. Yeah, well, I mean, you're welcome to stay as long as you want. Well, yeah. Well, definitely. Yeah, well. Come on, let's go grab something to eat. Talk some more about your backstory in a little bit. Sounds good. It's right over here.